After 3 years of secret marriage, my rich husband asked for a divorce. I burst into tears on the spot. He was stunned, and a glimmer of joy flashed in his eyes. "You are so sad. I know that you love more than my money." In fact, I hugged Shen Sihui's thighs and burst into tears. "After the divorce, can I still use your black card? Can I still live in this 1,000 square meter house after the divorce? After the divorce, will you still transfer 5 million pocket money to me every month?" His face fell a little bit. I sniffed and asked carefully, "Then after the divorce, are you still willing to wash my clothes and cook for me, serve me tea and water, and serve me like a personal servant?" Shen Sihui sneered and tore up the divorce agreement in a rage. "No, no, Gukyu Iran, what makes you think that after the divorce, I will still wash underwear for an ex-wife who doesn't love me at all?" I spit the pomegranate seeds into Shen Sihui's palm, and I opened my mouth waiting for him to feed me the next bite. But there was no movement. I couldn't help but tilt my head to look at him. "Hubby, aren't you going to feed me any more?" Shen Sihui sat beside me with a calm expression, his shirt buttons buttoned to the top, his knuckles wrapped in wet wipes, his fingers slowly opening, unclosing, with some pink pomegranate juice marks on his fingertips, looking very "No more feeding. Besides eating, what else can you do?" I thought about it seriously. "I can also sleep. I can stay in bed all day long." Shen Sihui didn't catch his breath. He suddenly tilted his head and coughed twice. His ears were red. He gritted his teeth and glared at me. "Gokyo Iran, what are you talking about in broad daylight? I said I can sleep for a long time. What are you thinking about, husband?" Shen Sihui was silent, and the whole person froze for 2 seconds, then pulled out a stack of photos from his chest and threw them on my knees with a paw. The photos spread out one by one, and the top one was Shen Sihui, who had been married to me for 3 years, lowering his head and kissing the side of a long-haired girl. Shen Sihui held the girl's neck, and her hands were grasping his waist. Their posture was intimate, with her skirt piled at her knees, as if something had just ended. He coughed lightly, as if urging me to express my opinion. "What did you see?" "I saw your husband hugging another woman." "What else? Don't you have anything else to say?" "Oh, the sister in your arms looks sweet and soft. Isn't she kissable? I also want to be friends with her. Can you give me her contact information?" The veins on Shen Sihui's forehead jumped. "Gukyu Iran, your husband is hugging a woman other than you in the photo. And then what?" I suddenly realized, got closer, almost sticking to the photo, and then slammed the table and screamed, "Husband, you!" Shen Sihui's eyes lit up as if he saw hope. "That's right, you should be angry. You finally—" "Husband, why are your chest muscles so small in the photo? Why are your buttocks so collapsed? And they are not bulging anymore?" I ignored Shen Sihui's dark face. He drew a deep breath and pointed at Funko. "His sister has sister's fingers. This slender. Why has this? And why does the sister have statistics use this bad AI synthesis? This famous and I'm famous part famous harm. Why you are a playful young man? You are a playful young man, and you famous face so you want me face feet. Then you want to eat pomegranates. Then what do you want to eat? Apples, bananas, strawberries? Strawberries? I'm just asking. It doesn't mean I will really prepare it for you if you answer. Even if you beg me again, I can't peel it for you. Cut it into pieces, put a fork in it, and feed it to your mouth myself." Shen Sihui rolled up his shirt sleeves, revealing a small section of clean and slender arms. His skin was thin and white, with a slight peach color like the spring softened by juice. The blue veins went up along his wrists, as if they were gently beating with the breathing of the owner of the body. My eyes were fixed on his rolling Adam's apple, his glasses, and his chest breathing heavily. Noticing my sight, he turned back and glared at me. "Honey, I don't want to eat fruit now. I want to eat something else." Licking my lips, I heard my voice become soft. "Can I?" After confirming that the place that should be tilted was still tilted, the night had completely darkened. "Honey, I'm hungry." Shen Sihui hummed his hoarse voice and stood up. "What does it have to do with me if you're hungry? I want to eat pasta." He put on his pajamas and sneered. "What's the use of telling me what you want to eat? I'm your servant. By the way, honey, I also want to drink pomegranate juice." Shen Sihui's face was gloomy, and he walked out of the room without looking back. "Guhuaran, Do you think the famous heir of the Shen family will listen to your orders and cook for you again and again? What a joke! Why don't you even let me prepare the bath water? 5 minutes later, Shen Siwei stood at the door gloomily. The bathtub water has been prepared for you. The orange blossom bath salt has been poured. He gritted his teeth and spoke word by word. Kukiaran, get up and take a bath immediately, and then go downstairs to eat. In the steam, I rested my head on the edge of the bathtub and suddenly remembered the past. At that time, I was a young actor who had just graduated from the acting department, and Shen Sihui was a prince with a very stinky face that I had only heard of in gossip. 2 glasses of wine with ingredients stirred up a night of chaos. After waking up, Shen Xianghui was so angry that even the tips of his ears were red. He grabbed my wrist as I tried to slip away. Just leaving like that? I cried anxiously while stealing a glance at the beautiful muscles on his young body. I'm sorry, mister. Zhenhe, I don't know why this happened. Has your medicine worked? Are you still feeling uncomfortable? A little bit. He looked up at me. His beautiful dark pupils were wet, and with his extremely abstinent face, the contrast was simply foul. How about we just make do with each other and do it again? I was stunned for a moment and nodded. Okay, that's fine. Shen Siwei was much easier to talk to than I'd imagined. His secretary handed me a scripting role that I dared not even think about, Mr. Zheng noticed that this matter is directed at him. He is deeply sorry for implicating you, Miss Gu. He lowered his voice again. He is stubborn and arrogant towards people close to him. Please bear with him, Miss Gu. I carefully thought about it for a while. When he was most infatuated, he also clumsily took measures. I didn't lose out. I fated to thank him in person, but Shen Sihui didn't even look at me. His back was very stiff. What are you thanking me for? What is there to thank me for? You're just afraid that others will know you're just a little actor. I'll be so embarrassed. But, by the way, today is Nurse's Day. My second ancestor is a nurse, and I specially learned a table of dishes to show my filial piety. Since Miss Gu wants to thank you, how about you help me taste them? There were 8 exquisitely presented dishes on the table. Shen Sihui continued to ignore me. Don't be so self-indulgent. I'm just practicing. I don't really want to cook for you. Eat if you want to, otherwise I'll throw it away. After carefully pondering his secretary's words, I answered seriously, Mr. Shanghong, these look delicious when I want to eat them. I just want to drink something. Do you have any juice at home? Shen Siwei raised his eyebrows. You are on. What do you mean? There are only 2 of us in the whole house today. Who are you trying to order around by saying this to me? Do you think you could order me around 10 minutes later? Orange juice, blueberry juice, apple juice, and pomegranate juice were placed in front of me. Really? You said you wanted to drink juice, but didn't tell me which kind you wanted. Fortunately, I am enthusiastic, hardworking, and generous. I will give you 4 kinds for you to choose from. He put his hands on the table opposite me, leaned forward slightly, and a hint of nervousness ran across his face. Or is there nothing you like here? I raised my head and tried to drink all 4 glasses of juice. Thank you, Mr. Gu. I like them all. The next day, Shen investment in the International Pie of the famous actor had an additional role for me. I was so stressed that I secretly squatted on the toilet and cried. He took me to find the best acting teacher. In the end, I became famous. He stopped downstairs in my house with a cart full of gifts. Every time he took out a gift, my eyes splashed. Chen Sihui's mouth twitched. Gu air on. Others pretend to be indifferent to fame and fortune in front of me. But you are so happy to see the gifts than to see me. Your eyes are bright as light bulbs. You don't even need to act. He drove away angrily, and in less than half an hour, the car changed from Mavic to Mavic Extended Edition. He had no expression on his face. Oh, fortunately, I am generous, broad-minded. No, how to repay evil with kindness. If not, I will pick up more. I jumped into his arms excitedly, unhugged his chest with both hands. Shen Hao Wei, you are the best. He froze into his ears, turned instantly. Gukyu Iran, what are you doing? Of course, I know I am the best. Get off. Withdraw the previous sentence. Well, forget it, I said. I am very generous. If you like, you can hang it on me. Various gifts filled my small house. He thought it was too crowded and simply told me to move. On the way, He snorted with a sour face. I have no experience, and there are some things I'm embarrassed to say. You should know what our relationship is now. Without thinking, I nodded vigorously. Of course I know. Giving resources, sending gifts, arranging a house. What else can X be if not the relationship between a canary and a sponsor? The next second, he took out a diamond ring that was bigger than our four nostrils combined. Then how about we get married at the same time? After taking a bath, I carefully rolled the pasta cooked by Shen Si Hui into my mouth. Xiao Tui is sitting opposite me holding his phone. He suddenly glanced at me with his lips curled up, and even the end of his sentence floated up. I saw a post. It's quite interesting. I'll read it to you. He read out the title word by word. Money-loving salted fish actress actress Gao Ling aloof Prince Shen's heir, maybe in a sweet relationship with a popular young flower. Medicines are so annoying. We are already secretly married. How can we still find clues? I want to see how they are doing it. Clicking on the post, Shen Shenghui's face sank inch by inch. What's going on? This money-loving young flower is not you. I don't even know her. This woman dares to market me by wearing two of the same style. And she also stole your personality? Does his team crazy? Does his team know who is behind you? I took the last bite of noodles. How can a character be stolen? Juju has been very active in transformation recently, and the marketing team is not bad. The marketing team is good? What do you think of him marketing himself and me? Oh, then he may want to take advantage of your luck. Remember what the metaphysical master said last time? Husband, your horoscope is auspicious for women. I added seriously, Juju's 3 recent dramas have all failed. He may simply want to be associated with you and give off some gas. Shen Sihui suddenly sat up straight. How about we make it public? This way, this kind of annoying hype will not happen again and again. 3 years ago, Shen Sihui proposed to me. After I agreed, I took the initiative to propose a secret marriage. He must have been moved by my thoughtfulness. At that time, his eyes were straight and he responded fiercely, Okay, let's keep it secret. Shen Sihui has been good enough to me. How can an excellent canary resist the peach blossoms of the sponsor? I shook my head. I don't want to make it public. Don't want to make it public. It's been 3 years. Gokyu Iran, and you still don't want to make it public? Gokyu Iran, do you know that most of the time, what you say doesn't sound like what a wife should say? You're not jealous, you're not envious, and you speak for them so generously. If I were a good person, you would have had a green grassland on your head. But to be precise, I'm not your wife. Shen Sihui was stunned. Not a wife? I was also stunned. Aren't we the relationship of a sponsor and a canary? Sponsor and canary? Shen Sihui seemed to be fixed in place, his eyes gradually losing focus, yes? So it's not reasonable for me to interfere with my husband. Your personal emotional development. Shen Sihui looked at me in a daze, and after a moment his voice was low and hoarse as if suppressing a fire that was about to explode. You always think that we are in this kind of relationship. Then, what does it mean that you called me husband in the past few years? I take care of you 3 meals a day, wash your clothes, and cook. And you always spit fruit cores into my palm. What does it mean? Have I been a free servant in your eyes for 3 years? Okay, since you think so, then let's divorce. Yes, divorce. His divorce. He gritted his teeth and sneered. It's so I never liked you. My eyes were sore and tears instantly burst out, patter falling and tears streamed down my face in an instant. Shen Sihui was stunned, and then a hint of joy flashed across his eyes. Gokyu Iran, you cried. You actually cried. You have never cried like this in 3 years of marriage. Your crying scenes are so fake. The director said you were like a spray gun jammed, but when I mentioned divorce, you started crying. His eyes lit up, and he bent down and gently wiped my face. Okay, okay, don't cry. My heart hurts when you cry. I know that you don't just love my money, although I don't know why you think we are just a relationship between a sponsor and a canary. It doesn't matter. You must have me in your heart. That's why you cry like this. In fact, you also. I rushed over, hugged Shen Sihui's thighs, and burst into tears. Shen Sihui, can I still swipe your black card after the divorce? He paused, and the joy on his face quickly cracked. I took a breath and continued to ask, Can you still live in this 2,000 square meter house after the divorce? After the divorce, will you still transfer 5 million pocket money to me every month? Shen Sihui's face became more and more sour. I sniffed and asked cautiously, after the divorce, are you still willing to wash my clothes, cook for me, serve me tea and water, and serve me like a personal servant? Gukuaran, do you have a heart? He held my arm and pulled me into his arms with one hand. He walked straight to the study with an impatient pace. Wait for me, I'm going to print the divorce agreement now. I nestled in his arms and continued to cry. What if I get sick in the future? Do I have to throw away the food I can't finish? Who'll help me get and throw away the takeaway? I don't know how to use the washing machine, and I always forget to set the alarm. No one gets into bed to wake me up. If you have a girl you like, I'll pass you toilet paper when you go to the bathroom, and I'll buy you ultra-thin owls when you check into a room. In short, don't get a divorce, okay? Gukueran, he was furious. Have you never loved me from the beginning to the end? I raised my head with a painful expression. Husband, of course I love you. I love your money, your black card, and the food you cook. How can I live without you? The printer spit out paper with a click, click, click sound, and I cried breathlessly. It's all your fault that you spoiled me. You walked the dog, lent your assistant, lent your driver, and bought all the sanitary napkins. I know I'm a little unreasonable, but if we really want a divorce, can you continue to take care of me after the divorce? Shen Haihui sneered. No, no. Gukueran, why do you think that after the divorce, I will still wash underwear for an ex-wife who doesn't love me at all? Can't. Shen Sihui still hugged me. I pulled his collar and wanted to get off, but he held it tighter. I had to lie in his arms and said in a muffled voice, Shen Xiaohui, you know a lot of people. If you really want to divorce me, can you help me find a good servant? It must be a man handsome, physically strong, and capable. By the way, he must also be clean and careful. I am more used to washing my underwear by hand. He was stunned for a whole second, then let out a long breath. The next second, he snatched the printed divorce agreement and tore it to pieces with a ripped sound. Don't look for anyone else. His face turned pale. Only I can do this. Shen Sihui did not mention the divorce again, but became unusually cold, avoiding me everywhere and sleeping in a separate bed from me at night. The servant woke me up in the morning. The master said that your new play will start shooting today, so you must be woken up on time. Where is he? He has gone out. My favorite whole meat sandwich was left on the dining table and is stuck on the plastic wrap. Eat! In the cloakroom, the playful yet decent short-toned suit has been ironed and hung in the most conspicuous position along with the bag accessories. Where? When I got in the car, a thermos cup was placed next to the seat. Drink. I pulled down the mirror, turned around, and asked the driver, did you see Shen Sihui this morning? Missed. Please look. I saw that the mirror was covered by a huge sticky note. Very angry, very angry. I was relieved. Based on past experience, he would be able to be coaxed into good health by cooking a few meals. Too many things happened yesterday, and I didn't have time to think about them in detail. Now that I calm down and think about it, I realize what some of the things Shen Sihui said meant. What do you mean by I don't know why you think we are just a relationship of a sponsor and a canary? Why you care so much about whether I love him or not? Why does he want to make it public? Why was my previous understanding wrong? Was my previous understanding wrong? In order to warm up as Shram Airly, the crew took the initiative to broadcast the opening ceremony live. In addition to the fans from all walks of life, the live broadcast room was filled with comments. Wow, this is a drama worthy of being directed by a well-known, resource-rich person. It was different from the opening ceremony. Who in the entertainment industry doesn't have some background now? Gukueran, apart from his crying scenes, has superb acting skills, looks good, and does not steal other people's resources. The roles are all carefully customized so as not to pollute the eyes of us, the audience. That's right. Didn't you see what was dug up before? Gukueran's background is not ordinary. Not only does he live in the same community as the Prince of Shen, they are also neighbors. Neighbors of the Prince of Shen? There have been rumors recently that the Prince of Shen is secretly married. Could it be Gukueran? Is it impossible Shen Hui will appear in all of Shen's two dramas? And I've never seen any unusual behavior by Amas. And I've never seen any unusual behavior between Xu Hui and Gu Qiran. When our sister Gu first debuted, she made it clear everything for her and were willing to wash her clothes. How could Shen Hui do these things? The comments were rolling, but I didn't have the energy to watch it. I attended the opening ceremony with a messy mind and many questions. Shen Hui showed up as usual, wearing a crisp dark gray suit and shirt. His eyes swept through the crowd inferently. Just standing there, he looked like a frosty flower from the high mountains. I had a lot of questions to ask him, but he didn't even reply to my message. The second female lead in the play, Juju, happened to be the actress who was hyped up in the post that Shen Hui showed me last night by wearing a few of the same items. She had just graduated from college and was as fresh and tender as a newly blooming bud. She asked me in a very low voice, Teacher Gu, are you really neighbors with Mr. Shenhong? Yes. Does that mean you know him? Teacher Gu, can you tell me what he likes? Don't get me wrong, I know he is secretly married, but I just want to change my luck. No obligation to share. Teacher Gu, you are so stingy. Are the recent marketing efforts of your team? Are you talking about money-loving salted fish? She admitted generously. Yes. Teacher Gu, you don't mind, do you? You can't patent a personality. Since we all have resources, what's wrong with letting me take advantage of it? Before I could reply, Juju had already smiled at the camera, and her eyes vaguely swept to Shen Hui in the distance. Teacher Gu is really very gentle. The first time I met him, I felt that he was not as cold and difficult to get along with as people said on the internet. On the contrary, he is very kind. He just asked me if there was something going on between him and Mr. Shenhou. I can't blame you for thinking too much. Mr. Shen and I have indeed met several times in private. But don't get me wrong, he's a very nice guy. He only took special care of me when he saw that I, a newcomer, was not adapting to the crew. The comments instantly exploded. The Prince of Shenzhou is so good at talking, pretending to clarify but actually trying to get closer. Shen Hui was at the scene. Juju shouldn't have to get closer. Shen Hui was at the scene. Juju shouldn't have the guts to hype it up on the spot, right? In other words, Juju and Shen Hui really have something going on. But based on past experience, Shen Hui seems to really have something going hype, and the female celebrities who trick the opportunities. What? I said, how many times did you meet Shen Hui in private? How come I don't know? Gu Qiran is so kind to people. What do you mean by how come I don't know? Is this Chinese? Why can't I understand? Can a neighbor know so much? Or is my daughter actually a hidden murderer who uses telescope to spy on the neighbors every day? If it were in the past, I should have just laughed it off, not minding or caring. But today, my heart was pounding, and Shen Hui's words, let's divorce, rang in my ears. Just like yesterday, reluctance and sadness emerged in my heart. If I carefully distinguished, it seemed that there was also a sour and uncomfortable feeling that I had never noticed and a feeling that I never dared to face. If he had a secret meeting with other women, if he fell in love with someone else, if he really divorced me and got together with someone else, I dare not imagine all the consequences, and I cannot bear them. Wait a minute. I lowered my head to avoid the camera and sent another message to Shen Hui. You said yesterday that you wanted to make it public. He was chatting with the director and producer in the corner. From a distance, I saw him say sorry, frowned, and swiped his thumb across the screen. Yeah. You said yesterday, why don't we make it public? Does this sentence still count today? Shen Hui did not reply. He lowered his eyes and glanced at his phone. The corners of his lips twitched imperceptibly. Then he put away his phone, continued to talk with the director and producer for a few words, and then slowly walked towards me. The weather couldn't be better, and the people and scenes except him darkened, leaving only a spotlight shining on him. He didn't smile, but the frost suddenly faded away the moment he looked at me, and a subtle liveliness emerged between his brows. 2 steps, he walked in front of me, leaned over, and put his arm on my shoulder intimately, unnaturally. My assistant reflexively handed me the phone playing the live broadcast, and the screen was scrolling with barrages. Shen Hui glanced at it. and asked in a low voice close to my ear what happened. I answered softly, "This Miss Yu said that you have met her privately several times." He hummed, his expression was impatient, but I could hear some pleasure in it. The next second, he carefully held my hands. The pair of dark eyes that I was so familiar with that I didn't want to think about it now looked like light flowing into the night sky, so bright that it was dazzling. "Why, if you have to believe it," he tilted his head slightly and held my hand while facing the camera. His eyes were no longer sharp, and he no longer suppressed his emotions. Only deep tenderness and certainty were hidden in every word I still say. "Are you jealous? Wife? What is the relationship between Gukyu Irana and Shen Sihui? Help! Please rewind 30 seconds on the entire network." What's going on in this world? Juju's smile was completely gone, and the crew members around her were also trying to maintain their expression management. The camera was still shooting, and the photographer shook quietly. Shen Sihui's expression suddenly became serious. He turned his head to look at Juju, his voice no longer smiling, with a long-lost coldness and coercion. "Ms. Shu, I have already informed your team last night. I extremely hate anyone to arbitrarily arrange my love life. I didn't pursue it before because my wife always advised me to be more tolerant, but this doesn't mean I will tolerate people who try to gain popularity, confuse facts, and exploit my wife." In just 1 minute, he used wife, madame, and madame all the time. It turns out that the gossip is true, the secret marriage is true, and the secret marriage partner is a popular young actress. Someone calculated that Shen Sihui's horoscope is not only good, but also auspicious. The two female stars who used him to buy marketing last year have become popular again this year, so Juju wanted to take advantage of him, right? But I didn't expect to make it up in front of the main person, which is really unbearable. I gently pulled Shen Sihui's sleeve. He looked down at me and his tones softened immediately. "What's wrong?" I held up my phone to show him. "You said yesterday. Why don't we make it public? Does this sentence still count today? Why didn't you reply to this message after reading it?" He blinked and the corners of his lips slowly curved up. "Isn't this slowly curved up? Isn't this a way of responding to you with my actions?" The next second, he faced the camera. "As I said just now, actress Gukyu Iran is my wife, who has been married for 3 years. The hasty first meeting with him and the low-key marriage did cause a lot of misunderstandings due to the youthful vigor and shyness to express, and even almost went in the wrong direction." He lowered his eyes and chuckled. "Now that I think about it, it's more or less regrettable, and my wife has suffered a lot of grievances. Taking this opportunity, I would like to ask everyone to be a witness." He tilted his head slightly, facing the camera while holding my hand. His eyes were no longer sharp, and he no longer suppressed his emotions. Only deep tenderness and determination were hidden in every word he said. "Gukyu Iran, can I chase you again? This time, you don't have to figure out to my way uneasily. This time, it is open and above board to tell you I love you. It is to let you really know what I am doing and why I'm doing it. And it can also let you enjoy this relationship with peace of mind. I want to start over again from the first step to forever." On the third day, when Shen Sihui started pursuing me again, I encouraged him to open accounts on various platforms to share his daily pursuit of my wife. He was squatting on the balcony with his sleeves rolled up to his elbows, rubbing the foam into the gaps in the fabric bit by bit. His bony hands were stained with foam, and his muscle lines rose and fell with the scrubbing movements. He could post anything: washing clothes, peeling shrimps, washing feet, cooking. I'm sure everyone loves to watch this kind of daily pursuit of a servant's wife. The tips of his ears turned red, and he lowered his head to continue rubbing the lace, muttering, "My wife, do you think my love is so impressive?" I looked at the various bloggers on the internet who were trying to gain traffic and popularity, and even took the opportunity to bring goods. And I almost cry with anger if I don't open an account. And that I don't open an account, the traffic will be taken away by others. Shen Sihui, as a well-known salted fish resource coffee in the entertainment industry, except for filming, shooting magazines, attending advertisement, I almost don't take other jobs, never manage a fan circle, and my career plans. In addition, fans are very satisfied with Shen Sihui, the brother-in-law, and my fans are in a peaceful and happy atmosphere. It is far less popular than Shen Hui, who always has his own hot spots and rarely appears in public before. Shoot you cooking in the kitchen and show the new smokeless pot of Shen Group. Shoot you applying body lotion to me and show the skincare sub-brand. Shoot preparing a loving lunchbox for me and let the brand installation box appear on the screen. I said confidently, seeing others make money is more uncomfortable than losing money myself. I continued to browse my phone. Shen Spence's online, teaching how to choose laundry detergent for your wife. Gokyu Iran's favorite girth-colored suit. Link here. Boss Shen has helped his wife cut her own nails. Why don't you rush to get the same nail clippers? Some took the screenshots of our live broadcast to make short stories. Some dug up our same necklaces and perfumes. And some people have already started to sell sanitary napkins by igniting. Shen Hui looked at me for a long time and finally sighed. What's the reason? He looked at me. His voice was low and hoarse, but his eyes were frank. You are afraid that if I perform too well, you will sell me out. I didn't reply to him. My eyes were full of desire to make money, and I waved the phone in front of his eyes. On the screen was a picture and text post with him as the cover picture, which took the opportunity to promote Oyster Essence. I seriously analyzed. Men are the easiest to cheat their money in this regard. Husband, are you interested in exploring the healthcare product market? There is a lot of business opportunity in this area. I have thought of how to shoot. When night falls, you eat Oyster Essence in front of the camera, and then he washed his hands and walked over from the balcony. Water droplets still hung on his slender fingers, winding down along the wrist bones. The shirt buttons were only half buttoned, and the corners of the clothes were slightly undulating in the night breeze. He walked to my side, easily picked me up sideways, lowered his head and rubbed his cheek into the crook of my neck, sniffed and rubbed it twice. His voice close to the ear, his tone was low and soft. Anything else is fine, but Oyster Essence is not necessary. He paused and took a deep breath. Because I can't use it at all. Whether you believe it or not, we can't wear it now. Extra the night when he said we are divorced, Shen Hui Austin turned, unable to sleep all night. He regretted it very much. Especially when he thought of Gokyu Iran's words, if we really get divorced, you will really get divorced. You may help him find a servant who is handsome, strong, capable, clean, and careful. Gokyu Iran's rosy little mouth opened and closed, and when he said this, he had only one thought in his mind. Isn't this request a character specifically for him, Shen Hui? What a joke! Besides him, Shen Hui, what a joke. Besides Yu Hui, who else can perfectly meet the point besides Yu Hui, who else can perfectly meet if he tries his best to find it? He will never find a better man than him who is more suitable to be built for Iran's servant. He will never find a better man's things. He wants to really finds it. He wants to what you are on various things. He wants her there on various things. Think about it carefully. What did Gu Quan do wrong? It was because he was too awkward and didn't tell his feelings to his wife, which distorted their relationship. It was because his attraction was not strong enough. After 3 years of marriage, he still didn't let his wife fall in love with him. That's all his fault. Damn it, he swore that he would be angry for only one morning at most, and then he would admit his mistake and continue to be his wife's servant for the rest of his life. But he lowered his head to sniff the thin quilt that Gokyu Iran had covered himself with in the afternoon. He couldn't hold his sweet and soft wife to sleep. How should he get through this long night tonight?